Hi, my name's Lakin Rainey. I am currently a first grade teacher. One day I'm hoping that I can transition into a literacy specialist. So I'm going to talk about some of the roles and responsibilities that this job has. So as I transition from a classroom teacher to a literacy specialist, I believe that there are many new roles that I will encounter. My first role will be within the school, which would be overlooking the teachers. Now, I don't mean watching every move that they make, but I do need to make sure that I'm working alongside them and offering them support when needed. My role within the school could also be making sure families are involved in their child's education. I think when parents are involved in their child's education, I think more can get accomplished. One way I can do this is I can plan family nights to make sure that the families are getting into the schools and just working alongside their child. It will also be my responsibility to oversee yearly assessments, such as the Acadians reading testing, and also progress monitoring students that are not at the reading benchmark for their grade level. My role within the leadership team is to work with each grade level in my school building to help them brainstorm ideas that will benefit their students. I will also need to work with administration to help look at data and ways to improve the school's overall data for reading. Over time, I believe there have been a few historical literacy changes that have affected the role of a literacy specialist, but the major one that I think had the most impact is when the No Child Left Behind was implemented. Once legislation put this rule into effect, I believe there was a greater emphasis placed on reading and reading instruction in our schools. Therefore, there was a higher demand for literacy specialists in schools, especially in the primary grades. Now, reading specialists are trained to work with students at all grade levels, so K through 12, but the majority of the work with students is at the elementary level, specifically, I think K through 3, because of that No Child Left Behind states that students need to be reading by grade 3. As a literacy specialist, I will also apply my theoretical and evidence based foundational knowledge in my role. I will use my knowledge to help plan effective instruction. As a reading specialist, I will have specialized knowledge of assessments and the diagnosis that will be vital for developing, implementing, and evaluating the literacy program that the school uses. For example, my school uses the Wonders curriculum, so I feel it will be my job to help teachers implement this reading curriculum into their classroom. I will also be able to evaluate a teacher's or a student's reading strengths and needs based on the teacher's feedback that they are giving me. While providing this information, I can also show them evidence based literacy strategies that will help their students. Therefore, it is important to stay up to date on evidence based knowledge. Every school year, there's going to be different needs of students, so it's important that you have as much knowledge as you can have. Now, the literacy vision at my school is that every child will flourish, develop their abilities, and pursue knowledge. I strive as the literacy specialist, or soon to be literacy specialist, as I hope. I strive to support this literacy vision by working with my students and providing them with the best possible interventions and strategies based on their abilities that will help them flourish into fluent readers. Overall, I just want to make sure that I am collaborating with my teachers by sending out an email at the beginning of the school year, letting them know that I am there to help them. I'm not there to judge them or look down on them based on their teachings and belief. I want them to feel that they can trust me and they can come to me whenever they're needing some guidance. I overall want what is best for the children, as the teacher does as well. So I plan to work with each individual teacher to make sure I'm giving them the resources that they need to make every child successful in reading. I also believe it's important to stay involved with what is going on in the classroom. When you become a literacy specialist, you kind of take a step outside of the classroom. And I don't want it to be where I'm not involved in the classroom, because I still want to be involved and I want to know what is going on in our classrooms and in our school district. So I would like to plan to visit the classrooms throughout the school year to observe the students and the reading practices that are being implemented in the classroom. I think it's also helpful to be able to observe a student so you know how they are in the classroom. Therefore, if a teacher comes to me saying they need help with little Johnny, and I have been in the classroom observing little Johnny, I think it'll be easier for me to give them effective feedback and strategies that will work for that student. Overall, I believe the best way to plan effective instruction is by looking at the data. Going off of what the data is telling you will help you provide the best possible instruction that you can. As a literacy specialist, it will be my responsibility to look at the data for all the grade levels in my building, not just one grade level. So based on the data, I can provide teachers with resources that will benefit their students. I hope that one day when I finish my master's program, I can eventually move into the role of a literacy specialist. And so I'm looking forward to everything that this class has to teach me about it. Thank you for watching.